Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Gentlemen, please. From what Ayo has said, whose duty has it been to draw up Nigeria's budget?
Which is the issue here? The duty is clearly that of the executive arm of government. Now, as to whether they
collect input.
Yes, input from legislators as to what projects they want executed. You see, in America, the Congress has a budget office, which in an existing budget office that works, its own structure to monitor budget, and not just the committees. Now, an office that does that.
We also have a budget office, haven't we?
No, that budget office under the Ministry of Finance,
under the
executive. The point is that the National Assembly cannot assume the role of preparing the budget and putting things in the budget. That is the duty of the presidency of the executive arm. Now, if there are projects they are interested in, there's a process of engaging with the executive over time to ensure that the process
initially,
not that it not gets to you for you to review and approve, and then you now add projects that had not been that is what is wrong here. Change the benchmark price. Exactly. Well, the issue of changing the benchmark price, you see, that is because the National Assembly is not also a rubber stamp. Okay. It's not exactly anything you say to National Assembly, they look at it and rubber stamp it. Fine. They have a duty to look at the budget critically, and when necessary, maybe reduce, or even in some cases reduce some. But it's not about you cannot reduce. No, who says they cannot reduce? They can reduce. You can refuse. They can reduce. It's a proposal to the National Assembly. National Assembly has the right to reduce. What's their role? Their role.
Sorry, let's hear one person at a time.
The role of the legislators is to look at the budget, review it. If it was just then the date is presented, then they should just sign off there. Exactly. What is the point of having hearings? Yes. What's the point of asking for a breakdown? What's the point of the process is to vet it and ensure that it is fine-tuned, so they can increase or reduce, but not to go and be creating projects and adding to it, as you have seen happen in this case and over the years.
Okay, very quickly. Sorry. Excuse me. I understand what you're saying, and it makes very good sense, and it aligns with what some experts, who are legal experts, who are constitutional experts, have said. We cannot discount the thoughts of constitutional experts. Now, let me ask you, Odilim, let's look at this.
Yes.
What Ayo said in terms of the rights of, in terms of the leadership quality of someone of Aruma Ote, how does a personality then becomes the reason for an institution not to get a budget?
Please, I don't want to. I think I've talked about that a lot, and I think that the issue is not Aruma. Let's talk about this because it's very important. Look, you see, it's very important.
Let's address that one first, and then we'll talk about the constituency project.
Let me tell you. I've already said it. I have written extensively about this issue. Aruma and I have interacted very extensively. She's a smart girl, lady. There's no doubt about that. But that's what is called smartness without leadership. I'm sorry, I'll tell you the truth.
So you agree with Ayo?
Of course, I already said it. You see, she lacks that thing. When you go to Rome, you behave like Roman. That does not mean that you'll be a thief, because Romans are thieves. You have to understand you are navigating through a system. These are elected people. Do you understand what I mean? You can't rubbish them like that because you want to show your ego. Do you understand? That's a way to. What is the essence of negotiation? In 1978, when Dengue came in, he met a very, very change-averse comrades. But sometimes midnight we sneak away and go and meet one of the comrades.
Who is that?
Then exam came. So that when you get to power, you know how to play with their power. You know how to negotiate. You can't just go there and brutalize everybody because you want to prove that you are. Nobody is a saint in this country, including myself. And don't claim to be Nelson Mandela in this country so that people will respect you. No, we don't need to do that. And you don't run democracy as such, and you want democracy to grow. There must be a process. And she missed that process. And I will tell you she missed that process.
Okay.
But can I now
go to the issue of the constituency project? Yes. Very quickly.
You see, the problem in this country, and it pains me in this country, people claim to be professionals, experts, but they do not actually look at the issues. Budget, go and look at the constitution. The budget is It's a bill sent. I have 3 bills I've sent to National Assembly. They haven't even brought it up. When they bring it up, they can write anything about the bill. You just give them an estimate. You just give them a direction. They decide whether it will go that direction, it will not go that direction. Thank you very much that this man understands it. National Assembly has the right to say that the president added. You see how it works. The presidency might have added 20 billion for a project that goes to Adamawa State. Adamawa State members of National Assembly can say 20 billion is too small. We make it this because we want, instead of 1 borehole, let it be 2 boreholes. So it is not that they are now fabricating something, throwing into it.
I'm sorry to break in. We've got a call coming in. Let's quickly take this call and then continue the conversation. Yes, Kole.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Kole.
How are you?
Yeah, please go ahead very quickly. We have a very interesting conversation going on. Your point very quickly.
Okay. My comment is in response to what Ayo, the last speaker, said. You see, Ayo is one of the Nigerians that are always begging questions and are always feeling that whatever the National Assembly or whoever is in power is doing is correct. I won't be surprised if Ayo is one of the aides of the National Assembly members. Otherwise, what are we talking about here? If somebody is qualified, before Arumote was appointed, the Senate screened her. Where were they then? Then they don't know that she's not qualified? Why must they wait until when she raised a question concerning their own integrity? Why do they now wait to that the time they now know that, oh, she's not qualified? She cannot do this, she cannot do that. If she is not qualified to do the work, for God's sake, must you now suffer a whole institution for that? Are you doing service to Nigeria or disservice? When you paralyze an institution as important as SEC, then what type of national leader are you? And some people are still saying that what they did is right. They are rationalizing their attitude instead of condemning it. I won't be surprised if I is one of their aides. And that's exactly what they are doing. Why should somebody sit down and say because he's elected, then he can appropriate money for themselves to be spending? Who now scrutinize what they appropriate to themselves? Who scrutinize it? The constituency project the National Assembly is putting in that budget. Who scrutinize it? So you just give money, appropriate money for yourself and spend the money. Is that how to balance power? Please, what I'm saying is that, look, Arumote or no Arumote, I don't know her from anywhere. But let us do the right thing to move Nigeria forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kole. Okay, very, very quickly, because we have just under 5 minutes to wrap up now. So
I wish that we return to discuss all these budgets so that we educate Nigeria. But let me tell you, why National Assembly
project very quickly.
Okay,
because
very quickly. Constituency project. I want there to in the amended constitution. Let it be stated there that the National Assembly can add constituency budget. But even if it is not,
you want it to be stated there. We are still operating on the 1999
no, what I'm trying to say, so that it no, because whether you like it or not, you cannot say it's illegal because it's not there. You cannot say it's legal because it's not there. But it must be made legal. And I continue to tell Nigerians to believe it, that the National Assembly has the right over the budget. Mr. President has the right to make an estimate budget. They have the right to state the budget. They have the right. Look at the so-called 75 and the 79. Because the executive want to have more money in the SS crude account or in the foreign their so-called sovereign wealth fund. You understand? These people say no. We are running deficit budget. Why not to have more money to take out the deficit? So all these are the things people, because you are talking about executive that is only 2 people elected there, the president and the vice president. You are talking about National Assembly with 360 members and the 109 senators representing every corner of this country, and you now claim to know that some technocrats brought from God knows where they came from, that they love Nigerians and Nigeria more than the people that are elected by Nigerians to solve their problems. That is where the problem. We have to solve this.
Very quickly.
Martin.
Okay, yes. It is very sad that we
we devoted well over 70% of this time to discussing sex. There are more fundamental issues with the budget. Look, do you even know that this federal budget that the president signed, and I mentioned this on air the other day, and I was surprised, this budget that the president signed is just one out of 37 budgets. 37, meaning that every state in this country has so what the president signed has nothing to do with Lagos state government budget, has nothing to do with the Edo state government budget. But how many people have actually asked all these governors to account for how they have performed? It's unfortunate that even the federal government is not even focusing debate on that. Now, of course, we can focus on the federal government, but every state, from Sokoto to Maiduguri to wherever, they have budget. Nobody is asking them. That's one. Two is, please, we don't need to amend. The Constitution is clear, Kayode. It is the executive that prepares the budget. Let me tell you, it doesn't even make sense. Let me tell you, if you are president, if you are the executive, and a legislator puts in a constitutional project, do you know that it's the executive that actually executes the budget? So what do you think will happen if won't they turn a blind eye? What the National Assembly should do, which is what they did last year, is to hold the presidency accountable for performance. That's 100%. But if you give them budget that you have prepared, they won't be able to implement those. That's an excuse not to implement.
Thank you very much. As a way of winding up now, tell us, do you see this budget being effectively implemented?
We've always had a problem with budget implementation. In fact, we are hopeful that this one that was presented to National Assembly in October last year, that will be running a full budget from 1st January this year and not have to wait till March before we have a signed budget. The unfortunate thing is that even this budget that has been assented to by the president, which what Ruben Abati said, is almost like, well, okay, let us sign it to avoid the constitutional crisis. But they are sending it back to National Assembly. They've already made it clear that they're going to send it back to National Assembly if they've already done so for review. So already, I think we've started off for the wrong foot, and I don't have any confidence that there'll be any performance better than we've had in previous years. So I am worried and I'm concerned that we already, and the government has not shown commitment to implement its budgets. We've had this problem over the years, and I am seeing us going that same way this year. So I don't know. I'm a bit skeptical and pessimistic about it.
Thank you very much, Eghes. Final word on the 2013 budget, because we have to wrap up now.
It's already problematic, because you think that when you sign a budget, it starts being implemented. That is section of Fiscal Responsibility Act, section 25 and 26, requires the Minister of Finance to come up with the procurement plan and this disbursement plan, which means cash flow plan that will accompany that, which the minister has not been doing. So it's the process. I agree with him. This is a messy thing. But I blame the executive. The executive is supposed to be negotiating with the legislature for them to pass the budget the way you want it. You cannot stay there and say you do it the way I want it or you don't do it. They have the right, because they're the custodians of Nigerian economy and Nigerian political system, not the presidency.
Okay. Thank you. Your final word, Martin.
Final word is, obviously, I also have issues, but I think there's something called the autumn statement that the UK government presents to the Parliament and even to the press before the budget is prepared. I see that as a fundamental problem with our budgeting process. In Nigeria, we have what we call medium-term economic strategy or economic framework. It is not the same as the autumn. If the federal government people are listening, they should take a look. What the autumn statement does is that it's like a policies and programs and all that. So everybody, you debate that. Do you understand? So that should go. In fact, government should actually send that by April and say, for 2014 budget, this is going to be the fundamental basis. Once you debate that for almost, even the US, they do what they call the Obama State of the Union. Yeah. In a sense, that gives you the broad outline. So the budget numbers flows from that. But the government doesn't do a good job with the economic medium-term economic strategy.
That's the medium-term economic framework.
That's the last word.
Yeah, that is what it is. So I don't know what Martin is asking for new because there's a medium-term economic framework. And what that is what gives us the word applies, the framework for the budgeting process for the priority projects over that period. We already have the one for 2012, 2015 out. If you go to the budget website, it's there. So I think that the issue is not as to whether we are able to generate all those things, but it's about the commitment to get the process going as it should be, without all these shenanigans we are seeing.
Thank you very much. On that note, we have to wrap it up. Thank you very much. I must say thanks to Eghes, Eyienyen, who's a financial consultant.
Thank you.
Odilim Enwegbara, who is also a financial analyst. Thank you very much. And Martin, a financial analyst and also a broadcast journalist as well. Thank you very much, gentlemen. It's been very interesting having this conversation. It's not finished. There's still so much that we have to talk about regarding this budget 2013.